Kaieteur Radio. This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Hello, thank you for tuning in to Kaieteur Radio. Kevin Smith here, and welcome to your news at noon. These are the top stories we are tracking. In absence of ring fencing provisions, new oil finds mean little for Guyana, says international expert. Environmentalist says in the gas to energy project, EPA acted outside its powers and current EIA process is improper. Meanwhile, 6 years after oil discovery, government now moving to update 36-year-old petroleum laws. And Venezuela, women trapped and killed in fire. Meanwhile, Parliament unable to debate Exxon flaring until October, and the city mayor says Public Works Ministry should settle its $300 million tax debt. Meanwhile, thieves empty fridge stocked for workshop breakfast, and woman recounts her husband was killed with his own knife. Stay tuned to stay informed.
Anna, please join me on the Glenn Lal Show, 99.1, 99.5 FM, Kaieteur, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7:20 p.m., and a rebroadcast of the next day at 11 a.m., just in case you miss that program.
I'm in a rush. Digital got me in a rush. Driving style for the summer. Digital summer rush.
Nobody's doing it big like Digicel this summer. Top up with $1,000 or more and collect the letters to spell the word RUSH for a chance to win one of 3 brand new Toyota Rush SUVs. Yes, you heard it right. 3 brand new Toyota Rush SUVs.
Driving style for the summer. Hey, Digicel summer rush.
Start topping up now.
Now for the news in detail. In light of ExxonMobil's recent announcement that more oil was found at the Whiptail 1 and Whiptail 2 wells in the Stabroek Block, an international financial group has come forward to expose what this truly means for the people of Guyana. According to the Institute of Energy Economics and Financial Analysis, more discoveries in the Stabroek Block only mean little for the citizenry, given the absence of ring fencing provisions in the production sharing agreement governing the block. Now, Kaieteur, along with several regional and international stakeholders, have stressed since 2015 the importance of having this provision in the PSA, as it would prevent ExxonMobil from deducting expenses associated with other projects against a producing field. This is currently taking place with the Liza Phase 1 project. In the absence of a ring fencing provision, ExxonMobil and its partners are deducting costs associated with the Liza Phase 2 and Kaieteur projects against the Liza Phase 1 project. In doing so, the already small profit to be split with Guyana gets even smaller. And in other news, the EPA undertaking of an environmental impact assessment for ESSO has been at times irrational and improper and does not comply fully with the requirements of the Environmental Protection Act of 1996. This is according to the written submissions that were sent to the EPA as part of the public consultation process for the proposed gas-to-energy project by Ms. Simone Mangal-Joly, a distinguished Guyanese environmentalist. In her written submissions, Ms. Mangal highlighted a number of concerns relating to various aspects of the gas-to-energy project. The most crucial of these concerns relate to a misuse of the power conferred upon the Environmental Protection Agency by the Environmental Protection Act of 1996. And moving on. More than 6 years after Guyana discovered crude in commercial quantities, coupled with repeated promises by consecutive administrations to update the nation's archaic laws governing the industry, moves are now afoot to finally achieve that objective. Minister with responsibility for the petroleum sector, Vikram Bharat, is slated to, on August 3rd, to present to the National Assembly the Petroleum Bill of 2021. The bill is aimed at amending the nation's 36-year-old petroleum laws, namely the Petroleum Act of 1986. following the first reading of the bill in the House by the Clerk of the National Assembly, having been presented by Barrett on behalf of the administration for a first reading, the 6 to 5 members of Parliament are given a minimum of a week before debating the proposed legislation and voting on same or refer the proposal to a special select committee. And moving on, 2 Venezuelan women yesterday morning perished in a fire at an apartment building located at 5th Street, Albertown, Georgetown. They were identified as 25-year-old Maria Lena Tisador Alonso and 44-year-old Maria Alejandro Patino Benjamin. The Ghana Fire Service was informed of the fire around 8 hours 45 at the Vizion Hotel and apartment buildings. According to information, the firefighters had difficulty gaining entry into the building due to the fact that the apartments were heavily grilled. As a result, the firefighters had to break the grill door and a wooden door. An onlooker related that while the firefighters were struggling to gain entry into the building, screams for help could be heard from some distance because the 2 women were trapped inside. You're listening to Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. This is your news at noon. We will return after the break.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Welcome back. Let us continue with the news. The National Assembly has on its agenda a motion calling for the government to intervene through various means, including amendments to the LISA 1 and LISA 2 permits, in addition to having the EPA demand compliance with regards to ExxonMobil Guyana and its routine flaring in the Stabroek Block. However, Clerk of the National Assembly Sherlock Isaacs, in an invited comment, yesterday said that the motion referred to was proposed by an opposition member, namely Shadow Minister with responsibility for the oil and gas sector, David Patterson, and as such cannot be proceeded with until after the recess, which begins on August 8. Parliament will emerge from its annual 2-month recess on August 8, after which time the motion could be proceeded with. According to Isaacs, the next 2 sittings of the National Assembly are reserved for government's business, meaning government's proposals on the parliamentary agenda would be dealt with as a priority. And now let's tell you, Mayor of Georgetown, Ubraj Narain, has reminded Minister of Public Works Juan Edgel that his ministry owes the mayor and city council over $300 million and should settle its debt. The reminder came in a statement from the mayor on Wednesday, in which he rejected remarks made by the minister at the commissioning of the new Owen and McDougall streets in Kitty, Georgetown on Tuesday. Edgel had criticized the management of the city by the MNCC and accused it of throwing its responsibilities over to the Ministry of Public Works. He said that the ministry took up the task of renovating the Owen and McDougall streets, though it should have been MNCC's responsibility. Edgel also said that due to the City Hall's poor management during the recent rainy season, the central government was forced to take over management of the city's pumps and coker. An interesting story coming. 3 persons between Thursday and Friday allegedly broke into the meals kitchen of the Napi Primary School located in Napi Village, Region 9, and emptied a fridge that was stocked for a workshop breakfast. So far, 2 suspects, a 20-year-old and a 16-year-old, have been arrested, while police continue to hunt for the 3rd person. According to police, the thieves are accused of stealing 2 whole chickens, 1 pack sausage, 1 knife, 1 cutlass, 1 bottle cooking oil, 1 bottle nut butter, and 2 liters of squeezed lime juice, all valued at a total of $11,820. Investigations are ongoing. And now for some Wrap things up with some troubling news right here. I thought I was going to die because he kept pelting stabs at me, were the words of the 29-year-old woman who was arrested in relation to the death of Anthony Packham Ram, her reputed husband, earlier this week. According to reports, Packham Ram was killed on Sunday afternoon at Old Road, Providence, with the very knife which he had armed himself with, while he and his reputed wife were arguing. News had surfaced that a woman had stabbed her husband once to the neck during the argument, but she has since claimed that she cannot recall inflicting the fatal injury. In fact, she believes that it could be the case that her abusive lover had fallen on his own knife after he had allegedly wrestled her to the floor. The traumatized mother of three said that during that horrifying ordeal, she never thought she would have survived. She claimed that he had pinned her down on her bed and tried to stab her. In an attempt to save herself, she held on to his hand, which had a knife, and fought for survival. She added that he then wrestled her to the floor, after which he started to groan. She noticed him bleeding and reportedly panicked. Her account was partly highlighted in a police report sent out on Monday. Get full details in today's Kaieteur News. And on that note, we now head over to our COVID-19 update, after which will be the page 7 of the Kaieteur News that's dedicated to being blunt. Guyana has seen a total of coronavirus deaths of 535, with total cases at 22,372. The country has seen 20,974 recoveries, with 863 active cases. Meanwhile, there are 9 patients in serious conditions. And moving on, all over the world, countries are taking firmer and stronger action with their precious resources. The South African Gas to Shore project is currently challenged in court over environmental impact assessment deficiencies. The Norwegians toughened their oil industry rules. Even in America, the Biden White House has signaled a more demanding climate change posture, with fossil fuel companies having to step up their game. What has happened to Guyana? Why is Guyana's president, vice president, and natural resources minister all silent and content with how things are with our oil? Surely, goat can't bite our leaders so bad. And with that, we've come to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
The time has now moved on to 12 hours 13. Coming up next, a short presentation from the publisher of the Kaieteur News, Mr. Glenn Lal. No one checks. Take it as it is.
Guyana, I have a question for you. Who goes into a business with a partner in which he gives you a limited time to verify the bills he's spending? Well, that is what ExxonMobil and the oil people doing to us. Yes, it is Raphael Trotman who signed that agreement in which Guyana has only 2 years to check and verify all expenses Exxon throw at us. When all over the world, oil countries demands no less than 5 years to do their checking, Guyana settled for 2. Guyana has gotten over 10 billion US dollar in bills so far from Liza 1 and Liza 2. And the 2 years already expire on us to check that. So we have to accept and pay that like an idiot, like a fool. Yes. Yes. Now, brothers and sisters, we have the 3rd Project Payara, in which another 10 billion US dollar in bills have been thrown at us to check. And the time is already running out. 2 2 on this one to check. And what are we hearing from Jagdeo, the Vice President? Yes, them now trying to put together a team to check it, to verify these bills. Man, something is wrong. Something is wrong in this country. 6 years now we discover oil, and these financial gurus can't put together an audit team on to now. What a Guyana this is. What a way to run country, guys. You doing business with a partner, and he gives you 1 week to check the bills, and if you don't check it within that time, you have to accept whatever he throws at you. What is going on here in this country, guys? So if he buys a bundle bora, let's say for $10,000, a tin of baby milk for $6,000, a gallon of rice for $5,000, a hammer for $25,000, or a spade for 20 grand, and you don't check it on time, you have to pay that. You hear me? You have to pay it. This is what our leaders telling this nation, guys, telling me and you. Guys, you gotta wake up. We need to wake up. We need to say something. We need to do something now and quickly before it's too late. Stop running around for 25,000 COVID money, hamper money, in which you can get $2.5 million every month by just speaking out against this highway robbery that is being committed by ExxonMobil and our backward leaders, slothful leaders we have, both of them. So if Guyana don't find a team in time, brothers and sisters, to check this other $10 billion from Payara, cat yam, all of we dinner with those bills. Guys, not even a preppy student would sign terms and conditions like that in a contract. Agreeing to just 2 years for check billions upon billions of American dollars, man. Hear how much more sickening this robbing contract gets. All those expenses, those costs, let's say tallied up to $100 million a day, the oil company is allowed to take out 75% of that every day before profit is shared. So out of the $100 million, they take out $75 million, then profits is shared. So each party gets $12.5 million each. Guyana get 12.5, while they walk away with $87.5 million a day. Guys, if you're worried about what you just heard, just listen to this. Out of we $12.5 million we get, Raphael Trotman agreed in the contract that Guyana will pay Exxon taxes out of that. Yes, take out 25% taxes of that figure, Guyana leaves with barely $9 million. So ExxonMobil walks away with $91 million out of the 100, and Guyana is left to settle with $9 million. That's business. Brothers and sisters, that is business. That's what is going on every day in this land by our leaders. And every single one of them is silent. How much more can we take, man? How much? When are we gonna say something? This is Glenn Lal speaking. Please join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to talk about these types of business this country going on with. Namaste to all of you.
It's Friday, July 30th. Almost done. One more to go today. This is Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM, and the National Outlook. I'm GHK Lal. Excuse me. Only Parliament, not the courts, can remedy issue over constitutionality of the death penalty. AG Nandlal. Well said, AG, Honourable AG. We're talking about the death penalty, but I want to carry this a little further. I want to take this into other areas. Yes, I agree, Parliament. And so we have this situation where men commit crimes, heinous crimes, that make us shrink. They make us shrink. A life is cheap. A house burned down, a family battered and traumatized for life, women raped, children, boys and girls, molested, some by people close to them. And what is happening now, these guys in this particular instances are talking about appealing against the death penalty sentence. I personally feel that the death penalty has its time and place. My religious persuasion may go in another way, but this is me here speaking as a citizen, and I've got to be frank. But I am concerned that more and more I'm hearing almost every day, 2-3 times a week I open the paper, and there is some accused found guilty, sentenced to decades in prison, sentenced to death every once in a while, and they're appealing about it's too draconian, it's too harsh, it's too much, it's unbearable. Well, get real here, folks. Let's get real, people. I appeal to our lawmakers, get real, and our judges. Here's the story. What are these guys going to do next? After they kill citizens, after they rape citizens, after they burn down and terrorize their places, devastate their businesses, their psyches, what are they going to do next? Choose their own, ask for a different judge? Ask for different meals, have meals of their choice, judges of their choice, decide on the color of their prison uniform? Where does this nonsense stop? Where does this nonsense stop? When they were bravely shooting down people and attacking children and women and pensioners, they were doing that very bravely and very arrogantly. Now they're cowardly. They're whining. The time is too much. You do the crime, do the time. Be a man. Stand up. Face the music. I really am flabbergasted, astonished that we even listen to these people, that we even give them the time of day. And I'm talking in general here, not about the Coast Guard or whatever. I'm talking about all these guys who come up, having been charged, having been found guilty on the evidence presented, having been judged by their panel of jurors, their peers, and sentence passed by a judge. Hey, step up and pay up. Step up and pay up. That's my message. And I think with one or two exceptions, our judges are sending down the right sentences. If anything, a couple here and there, only here and there, might be a bit too harsh. But I think by and large that this needs to be kept. The appeals court should not be second-guessing judges. The appeals court should not be intervening too frequently. Okay? I think that these guys and their appeals should be sent packing summarily, right? And that's my bottom line here. Until the next time, I'm GHK Lal on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM. This was the National Outlook, and thank you for joining me. Do have a wonderful weekend.
Welcome to the station where the music blasts through. Because life is fun. With
99.1 FM.
Well, you know what? Shall I represent for DJ Juggler? Yo, press the one, yeah.
ख्वाब है तू, नींद हूँ मैं, दोनों मिले रात बने, रोज यही मांगू दुआ तेरी मेरी बात बने, बात बने। मैं रंग शरबतों का, तू मीठे घाट का पानी। मैं रंग शरबतों का, तू मीठे घाट का पानी। मुझे खुद में घोल दे तो मेरे यार बात बन जानी। रंग शरबतों का, तू मीठे घाट का पानी। मैं रंग शरबतों का, तू मीठे घाट का पानी। मुझे खुद में घोल दे तो मेरे यार बात बन जानी। रंग शरबतों का, तू मीठे घाट का पानी। मैं रंग शरबतों का, तू मीठे घाट का पानी।
छैया 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 चल छैया 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 सारी इश्क की छाँव चल छैया छैया सारी इश्क की छाँव चल छैया पाँव जन्नत चले चल छैया छैया पाँव जन्नत चले चल छैया चल छैया 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 चल छैया छैया छैया
Careful. Well, you know what? Shall I represent for DJ Juggler? Yo, press the one, yeah.
सारी इश्क की छाँव चल छैया छैया सारी इश्क की छाँव चल छैया पाँव जन्नत चले चल छैया छैया पाँव जन्नत चले चल छैया चल छैया 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 वो यार है जो खुशबू की तरह जिसकी जुबान उर्दू की तरह मेरी शाम रात मेरी कायनात वो यार मेरा सैया सैया चल छैया 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 चल छैया 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 चल छैया 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 चल छैया
चुनरी लहराए तो दिल धक धक करता है। चुनरी लहराए तो दिल धक धक करता है। दिल धक धक करने से मुझको कुछ होता है। मैं तेरे मिलने से पहले दीवाना नहीं था। चुनरी लहराए तो दिल धक धक करता है।
चलती है पवन क्यों झूमे है गगन क्यों मचलता है मन तुम जानो न हम जानो न हम क्यों आती है बहार क्यों लुटता है करार क्यों होता है प्यार ना तुम जानो न हम ना तुम जानो न हम
एक दिन कभी जो खुद को तराशे मेरी नजर से तू जरा अरे आंखों से तेरी क्या क्या छुपा है तुझको दिखाऊं मैं जरा अरे एक अनकही सी दास्ता दास्ता कहने लगेगा आईना सुभान अल्लाह जो हो रहा है पहली दफा है वल्लाह ऐसा हुआ सुभान अल्लाह जो हो रहा है पहली दफा है वल्लाह
मैंने पायल है छनकाई अब तो आजा तू हर जाई मैंने पायल है छनकाई अब तो आजा तू हर जाई मेरी सांसों में तू है बसा ओ सजना आजा न अब तरसा ओ सजना आजा न अब तरसा
दिल में दर्द सा जगा है कांटा सा कहीं लगा है
Well, you know what shall I represent for DJ Juggler? Yo, press the one, yeah.
ये नहीं तो क्या है ओ हो दिल में दर्द सा जगा है कांटा सा कहीं लगा है मोहब्बत ये नहीं तो क्या है ओ हो आहा हा हा
दिल में दर्द सा जगा है कांटा सा कहीं लगा है मोहब्बत ये नहीं तो क्या है ओ हो हा हा हा
अच्छा चलता हूँ दुआओं में याद रखना मेरे जिक्र का जुबां पे सुहाग रखना दिल के संदूकों में मेरे अच्छे काम रखना चिट्ठी तारों में भी मेरा तू सलाम रखना अंधेरा तेरा मैंने ले लिया मेरा उजला सितारा तेरे नाम किया चन्ना मेरे आ चन्ना मेरे आ चन्ना मेरे आ बेलिया ओ पिया चन्ना मेरे आ चन्ना मेरे आ चन्ना मेरे आ बेलिया ओ पिया गुनगुनाने पे यूं खुल के फिर मुस्कुराने पे
Careful. Well, you know what shall I represent for DJ Juggler? Yo, press the one, yeah.
तेरे आने पे गुनगुनाने पे यूं खुल के फिर मुस्कुराने पे आए
जमाने पे ना जाने किस बहाने पे I'm in love सदियों से मैंने किया इंतजार हायो हायो रब्बा I'm in love हायो हायो रब्बा I'm in love
इनकार से इकरार से ना जाने किस तकरार से I'm in love वो भूले से अनजाने से क्या आज से या जमाने से I'm in love सदियों से मैंने किया इंतजार हायो हायो रब्बा I'm in love हायो हायो रब्बा I'm in
तेरे मेरे सपने सभी तेरे मेरे सपने सभी बंद आंखों के ताले में है चाबी कहाँ ढूंढे बता वो चांद के प्याले में है फिर भी सपने कर दिखाऊं सच तो कहना बस यही मैं तेरे काबिल हूँ या तेरे काबिल नहीं मैं तेरे काबिल हूँ या तेरे काबिल नहीं तेरे मेरे सपने सभी तेरे मेरे सपने सभी बंद आंखों के ताले में है चाबी कहाँ ढूंढे बता वो चांद के प्याले में है फिर भी सपने कर दिखाऊं सच तो कहना बस यही
अल्लाह मुझे दर्द के काबिल बना दिया
Well, you know what? Shall I represent for DJ Juggler? Yo, press the one, yo.
बेचैनियां समेट के सारे जहान की जब कुछ न बन सका तो मेरा दिल बना दिया ओ साथी तेरे बिना राही करा दिखे ना ओ साथी तेरे बिना साहिल धुआं धुआं
जो तेरी खातिर तड़पे पहले से ही क्या उसे तड़पाना ओ जालिमा ओ जालिमा
Hey, careful.
जो तेरी खातिर तड़पे पहले से ही क्या उसे तड़पाना ओ जालिमा जो तेरे इश्क में बहका पहले से ही क्या उसे बहकाना ओ जालिमा आंखें मरहबा बातें मरहबा मैं सौ मर्तबा दीवाना हुआ मेरा ना रहा जब से दिल मेरा तेरे हुस्न का निशाना हुआ जिसकी हर धड़कन तू हो ऐसे दिल को क्या धड़काना ओ जालिमा ओ जालिमा बेचैन मन जाने है कैसा दीवानापन दीवानापन कभी ना सुकून आया कभी ना करार आया कभी ना सुकून आया कभी ना करार आया जब से है तुम पे मुझको प्यार आया कभी ना सुकून आया कभी ना करार आया जब से है तुम पे मुझको प्यार आया प्यार आया
तू तस्वीर में मेरे तू ही वादों में तू अफसाने में मेरे तू ही यारों में कभी ना सुकून आया कभी ना करार आया जब से है तुम पे मुझको प्यार प्यार गलियां चौबारा छोड़ चली बचपन सारा आंगन गलियां चौबारा छोड़ चली बचपन सारा तेरी सोन भरी किस ओर चली किस ओर चली सजना तेरे प्यार में हम परदेसी हो गए रे हम परदेसी हो गए रे सजना तेरे प्यार में हम परदेसी हो गए रे हम परदेसी हो गए रे हो गए रे
हे सजनी तुझको देख के कितने कंवारे मर गए रे कितने कंवारे मर गए रे सजनी तुझको देख के कितने कंवारे मर गए रे कितने कंवारे मर गए रे मर गए रे मर गए रे मर गए रे
सजना तेरे प्यार में हम परदेसी हो गए रे हम परदेसी हो गए रे
घर की मिट्टी दिल की चिट्ठी रोके तेरा दामन मेहंदी हल्दी बिंदिया काजल बदले तेरा जीवन 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 कभी जाके सोए कभी हंसते गाते कभी तन्हा तन्हा कभी आते जाते कभी जागे सोए कभी हंसते गाते कभी तन्हा तन्हा कभी आते जाते दिल धड़कने लगे बेवजह बेसबब दिल धड़कने लगे बेवजह बेसबब क्या इसी को मोहब्बत कहते हैं सब क्या इसी को मोहब्बत कहते हैं सब
कभी जागे सोए कभी हंसते गाते कभी तन्हा तन्हा कभी आते जाते दिल धड़कने लगे बेवजह बेसबब दिल धड़कने लगे बेवजह बेसबब क्या इसी को मोहब्बत कहते हैं सब क्या इसी को मोहब्बत कहते हैं सब
कभी जाके सोए कभी हंसते गाते
ये चेहरे इश्क न जाने ये पर्दे हटा देती है जहाँ दिल का है ठिकाना ये राह बता देती है मुसाफिर मैं हूँ फिर भी मंजिल पास तो है चलूं मैं जिस राह पर तू है वहाँ चलते 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 यूं ही कोई मिल गया था, यूं ही कोई मिल गया था। सरे राह चलते चलते, सरे राह चलते चलते पहली दफा आँखों को सुकून मिला, करीब मेरे तू जो हुआ, सफर को कारवां मिला। तू मेरे पास है फिर भी बस एक बात तो है, चले दो सांसें अलग पर एक है वजह। चलते 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 यूं कोई मिल गया था, यूं कोई मिल गया था। सरे
बरसात हो और रात हो, तन्हाई हो तेरा साथ हो, तो छम छम नाचूंगी मैं, छम छम नाचूंगी, तो छम छम नाचूंगी मैं, छम छम नाचूंगी।
तेरा आंचल हो लड़का पागल हो, नैनों वाले तीरों से दीवाना तेरा घायल हो,
तो छम छम नाचूंगी मैं, छम छम नाचूंगी, तो छम छम नाचूंगी मैं, छम छम नाचूंगी। तेरे बिना जिंदगी से शिकवा तो नहीं, शिकवा नहीं, शिकवा नहीं, शिकवा नहीं। तेरे बिना जिंदगी भी, लेकिन जिंदगी तो नहीं, जिंदगी नहीं, जिंदगी नहीं, जिंदगी नहीं। तेरे बिना जिंदगी से शिकवा तो नहीं। बंधन है, पैरों में बंधन है, पायल ने मचाया शोर, पैरों में बंधन है, पायल ने मचाया शोर। सब दरवाजे कर लो बंद, सब दरवाजे कर लो बंद, देखो आए आए चोर, पैरों में बंधन है।
तोड़ दे सारे बंधन तू, तोड़ दे सारे बंधन तू, मचने दे पायल का शोर, तोड़ दे सारे बंधन तू, मचने दे पायल का शोर। दिल के सब दरवाजे खोल, दिल के सब दरवाजे खोल, देखो आए आए चोर।
पैरों में बंधन है,
तुम चाहो या न चाहो, तुम मानो या न मानो, तुम चाहो या न चाहो, तुम मानो या न मानो, सबसे कह दिया कि मैंने प्यार किया, तुम्ही से प्यार किया, कि मैंने प्यार किया, तुम्ही से प्यार किया।
चलने लगी है हवाएं, सागर भी लहराए, चलने लगी है हवाएं, सागर भी लहराए, पल पल दिल मेरा तरसे, पल पल तुम याद आए, चलने लगी है हवाएं, सागर भी लहराए, पल पल दिल मेरा तरसे, पल पल तुम याद आए।
जालिम नजर हटा ले, मेरा चैन बैन से उजड़ा, जालिम नजर हटा ले, बर्बाद हो रहे हैं जी, बर्बाद हो रहे हैं जी, तेरे अपने शहर वाले, मेरा चैन बैन से उजड़ा, जालिम नजर हटा ले, बर्बाद हो रहे हैं जी, तेरे अपने शहर वाले।
कजरा रे कजरा रे तेरे कारे कारे नैना, कजरा रे तेरे कारे कारे नैना, ओ कजरा रे तारे
चोरी चोरी किया रे,
जागा मैं अकेला रजाई में, जागा मैं अकेला रजाई में, जागा मैं अकेला रजाई में। तौबा तुम्हारे ये इशारे, हम तो दीवाने हैं तुम्हारे। राज ये कैसे खोल रही हो तुम, आँखों से बोल रही हो। जादू आते हैं तुमको सारे।
तौबा तुम्हारे ये इशारे, हम तो दीवाने हैं तुम्हारे। छू लेते हो तारे जो दिल के, तुम ही बताओ तुमसे मिलके, जानू दिल कोई क्यों न हारे।
तौबा तुम्हारे ये इशारे। जिस्म दमकता जादू जादू, जुल्फ घनेरी खुशबू खुशबू।
सांसें हमारी महकी महकी, नजरें तुम्हारी बहकी बहकी।
तुम्हारा बदन है जैसे चमन, होश उड़ा दे ये नजारे। कब तक चुप बैठे अब तो कुछ है बोलना, कुछ तुम बोलो कुछ हम बोले ओ ढोलना।
कब तक चुप बैठे अब तो कुछ है बोलना, कुछ तुम बोलो कुछ हम बोले और ढोलना।
मर जाना था ये भेद नहीं था खोलना, ओ ढोलना।
ओ ढोलना।
कब तक चुप बैठे अब तो कुछ है